Hello everybody, this is T2 Tutorials, and although it's the holiday season, I unfortunately didn't have quite enough time to prepare a themed redstone build for today's video. The best I can do right now is make it snow for a couple seconds to get us all feeling festive, and now I can show you the hidden armor equipper that is the subject of today's tutorial. So, let's set the scene for a quick story. We find an intrepid, unsuspecting traveler traversing through a treacherous forest in the dead of night, without a single piece of protective armor to his name, naked as an undressed salad and wearily stumbling to his humble abode. When suddenly, he finds himself ambushed by a gang of, let's say, zombie librarians, hungry for our unfortunate traveler's overdue library books. In a brief moment of shock, the traveler scolds himself for neglecting to bring his trusty armor. However, hope shines like a beacon from above as he recalls a secret underground armor stash that coincidentally and completely by chance lays buried ahead directly in his path. He dashes for it, places his trusty spruce button on a specific block, plunges into the underground machine, and emerges fully equipped in a set of armor brighter than the future of our country, prepared to defend himself from the zombie librarians. Well, I've only just realized he doesn't have a sword, but at least he can continue to evade library fees or something. Now, you might be wondering, why would I need something like this? Wouldn't it be easier to do something like this, or even this? And to that I would say, of course not, you're missing the whole point. Minecraft is really a mental game, you know? Like, sure, you could put your armor on like all the other plebeians, but you won't be impressing anyone with that. On the other hand, if you use the hidden armor equipper, now that's the kind of power move that really gives someone that intimidation factor. A real assertion of dominance over your opponents. And hey, it looks cool as heck, so why wouldn't you use it? Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that little intro there. If you haven't caught on by now, this is the hidden armor equipper. And as you saw, it basically works by sucking you under the ground, slapping some armor on you, and shooting you right back up. So you might find a use for this if you've just died and you want a quick way to get back into the action. This machine will do it for you. And so it consists of three main components. And so you have the trap door that is opened through the button press that extends this redstone block past depowering the pistons. And then 3 ticks later, just as you reach the slime block here, and then 3 ticks after that, this piston will extend, bouncing you up back through the opening just before the trapdoor closes again. A couple things I like about the design is how compact it is. The entire machine fits within a 3x3 footprint, and also that it's completely flush with the floor. And that means that this can literally be anywhere on the ground. It doesn't have to be next to a wall, for example, which I think differentiates it from some other designs. If this button wasn't already here, you'd have absolutely no way of finding it, which I think is really cool. Finally, this machine can be modified to accommodate 2 additional dispensers if you want to dispense, say, a sword or a potion in addition to your armor. And you can also add in external storage for all the dispensers if the inventory capacity of the dispenser is not enough for you. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. This machine needs 5 sticky pistons, 1 slime block, so a little heavy on the slime, 1 redstone block, 4 dispensers, 3 repeaters, 4 redstone dust, 1 redstone torch, and a wooden button. It can't be stone because a wooden button has a slightly longer pulse, which is necessary for the timing of this machine. And finally, 10 building blocks, including 1 transparent block, such as a slab or glass. Oh, and you'll also need a 3x3x6 area to work with. So let's get started with the trapdoor. This chiseled quartz block will be your floor level. You want to place your input on one of the corners of the workspace. That would be here, or you could put it here or here. And keep in mind that the opening to the armor equipping station will be 1 block inwards from this button. So in this case, ours will be here. And then under this input, you'll want to place a sticky piston facing downwards with a redstone block attached to it. And then you'll want to place your transparent block, this redstone interacting with the dispensers that will be here later. And then you place your redstone repeater facing in this direction on 2 ticks, running into a block with a piece of redstone dust on top. And then to place in your pistons, you'll want 1 next to this block and 1 on top of that, and then 1 facing upwards next to the redstone block. And that should complete the trapdoor. So if we place our floor block in, test this out, press the button, we fall right through. Let's move on with the dispensers. We're going to be continuing the signal along from this repeater, so we're going to place a block under here with another piece of redstone dust, then come around the back place a block diagonally under this one with a repeater coming out from there on 3-tick delay this time, running into a block with a redstone torch on its face, and then you can place in your dispensers. So that's going to be here and here, 1 block away from the torch, and then also here and here and here, and then a block on top of this torch. And so that's your dispensers all wired up. And finally, we're going to place in the slime block. So that's going to be a sticky piston right below the opening with a slime block, and that should line up directly in between these dispensers here. Then you're going to bring down the signal from this redstone torch. So that'll be a block at the bottom, a piece of redstone dust, another block, and a repeater coming from there, again on 3 ticks. Then run that repeater into a block and put a piece of redstone dust next to the piston. And that's all the wiring complete. So now all that's left to do is fill up your dispensers. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And maybe finish up your floor on the top. And now we can try this. So now if we go into survival mode, you see I have no armor on. Hit the button, hold shift, and we get a full set of armor. To make the modifications I mentioned earlier, if you want the 2 additional dispensers to dispense 2 extra items, you want to place those on this 3rd side of the slime block here, facing inwards just like the other ones. And then you can wire those up by placing a block here in the corner and running redstone dust along from on top of this torch here and running along the outside. So that will power all of those dispensers. Now, if you want to increase the storage capacity of the dispensers, you'll want to place hoppers running into each of them. So I already have one of them here. Place a chest there. And then for this one, it would be something like this. And then this one would be something like this. This one would be here. And then this one would be here. And finally, this one would work just like this. And it doesn't matter that there are things powering these hoppers right now, because once you press the button, that will unpower all of the redstone things so the items can pass through. Just keep in mind that with both of these modifications, you will be extending the footprint of the machine past the original 3x3, so just something to bear in mind. Alright guys, that's about it for today's tutorial. I hope at least some of you found it useful. This video took a really long time to make, especially with the little film at the beginning, so feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed it, as well as commenting any suggestions you have for future videos. I have been reading them. Anyways guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been T2, and that's a wrap. Have a great day.